Welcome back to the What's Up Eddie channel, Divine Therapy Sessions, and of course I'm the one and only Eddie. So glad to have you guys back, and these are my Divine Therapy Sessions. Wow, you guys, so today I'm sitting here and I know that I like channel and come up with things, and I'm gifted that way, or the knowing without knowing, right? But then there are time periods that you're guided to certain readings, certain people, and it sparks off ideas, and everything that I had been saying before just came full circle right now by just listening to 10 minutes of Neville Goddard. It's unreal how intelligent this man is, and the way that he speaks, the level of intellect is insane. Genius, a living legend by just 10 minutes. I just listened to 10 minutes of it. Now there's hours and hours and hours upon the material that he's put out, but I had actually heard his name before. Someone had mentioned it before and I didn't listen to it then. But right now, I always talk about but I talk about it on the emotional capacity, right? Releasing trauma, letting go of trauma, that we want to blame the outside, but it's actually all the stuff's on the inside. And he talks about the overall general idea of, and I say this too when you're manifesting, that you have to lie to yourself or make a habit. So when you say something over and over and over and over again to yourself, because I've had people say, Eddie, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not going to just read this paper manifestations every day and every night. Like, how is that going to help me? Yeah, with that attitude, it's not going to help. Well, that's one. And the second thing is, what you're doing is essentially a brainwashing, right? And this is the elementary way of saying it. You're brainwashing yourself so eventually you can believe in it. The feeling. Now, Neville Goddard, he actually explains this in such a detailed manner. It's unreal. Like, it sparked off so many ideas. It's beautiful. So essentially, the conscious and the subconscious they have a symbiotic relationship. They're married to each other, and you can't have one without the other. And this can be explained in other ways as well. And you could be put into so many different lessons, however you want to look at it, whether it's physicality, your mental frame, your social, the way that you speak to others, in actual marriage. It's like, it's so beautiful. It's like poetry. But so the conscious is the male and the subconscious is the female. And when they're married together, because a lot of the times they're working apart, and the way that we're in this platform of Earth, we are programmed from a child. You learn what your mother learned and your father learned, and what their father, so what your ancestors all have made you up to this point. And if you believe in past lives, that is in your subconscious, burned in your DNA, and this goes centuries, millennia, you name it, it's there. Whatever it is that you believe in. But let's just say if you can't believe that far and you can only believe in what your mom and dad taught you, that's fine. Same principle. So whatever they're learning, they taught you, right? And you believed it to be true. And then you went into the world and you realized, wait a minute, there's more to this. How hard was it for you to change your opinions from that point onto the next one? Now, what if you learned a situation by trauma, which all of us do, right? When you smack your head and you bust your head up and you get stitches, it's in your head, I'm never going to do that again. Now, can your mind confuse it and say, well, I'm never going to go into this room again. I'm never going to go into a room that's dark because this is what happened to me and I'm super afraid of it. Now, what if you walked in front of a room and said, I'm not going in a dark room. I can't do it. And inside that room was your freedom. But you'll never do it because you're scared of the dark room, right? your mind can play the trick on you. And that's everything in our life. You can say your job, relationships, your mind, the reptile mind, or what's burned in the subconscious. That subconscious mind is harboring those, because it doesn't have a filter. It doesn't care about the, how does it say? It doesn't care about, like, it doesn't have an emotion as your conscious does. So every time that you see the dark room, your subconscious is going to activate. Boom. And then you're going to think to yourself, I can't go into this room. Even the words, I can't. You're saying I cannot do it. And you say it enough, it's in your subconscious anyways. And most of us revisit this idea when it doesn't help us. Because eventually you're going to have to go into a dark room, right? Of course. So you're going to have to reach your fear. You're going to have to forget about the scar. In order to do that, you have to revisit it, and you have to go into the dark room. Now, that's just a good way of explaining it. Now, when you put this into different areas of your life, it works perfectly when you understand how the subconscious and the conscious work. Now, how can we use this with our spirituality, right? And the big thing, so this is all it is. Everything else is just a commentary. This is us. The vessel is just the body, right? And then it's our consciousness and our subconscious that actually make this all a reality. So the subconscious, how did he explain it? He said the subconscious is riddled with oppression. And with that oppression, it expresses itself in a certain way. When you all it is a level of ridding the oppression. And when you take out the oppression, the expression changes. So what does that mean to us? You have to do the work. You have to visit. You have to visit the dirty, ugly things that you don't like about yourself. Because it's always your mind's going to try to save you. Your mind's going to go back to that dark room. And the dark room, all it's going to look like is the people that mirror you. Because that's what they say, the law of one. The law says that we're all together. We're just a different expression, just like the subconscious and the conscious. We're married with it, no matter what. It always expresses one after the other. You can't have one without the other. That's what this place is all about, is duality. And you need to figure out how to marry the duality. Because you are the duality. You are the expression of that duality. So so getting back to the point, right? Everyone's a mirror. So when you see something bad into someone else and you're being a shit to them, or you're expressing your distaste for them, you're essentially saying your distaste for yourself. And this is the hardest thing that you can do. These are the teachings of Christ. The best teachings that I've ever read are Christ. They're so advanced. And that's why they say that when you read it, and to know the power thereof, and to have the knowledge, because it is a secret language. There is a secret language in all these books. And when it taps open and it opens, because some are just chosen to wake others up. But when you wake up and you realize that it's all intermingled, it's all married together, all the information. But you realize when you look at another person, all you're doing is saying it to yourself. So you're going to have to revisit that dark room I was speaking about. But that dark room is your past, your things that you've done up to this point. Now you can make a choice. The choice, I just call it a spiritual experience, because we're all having a spiritual experience, whether you're doing really low vibrational shit or really high vibrational shit. In the same token, all you have to do, and it's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do, is take a look at yourself and then fucking change that behavior. But you can't do it alone. That's the ironic part, right? You're going to have to bounce your crazy ass ideas off someone else. And that's the magic of therapy, of mentorship, of releasing. You can't release something that you're holding on to, right? That's what it means at the end of the day, right? So It's the trauma. I say this so much because it set me free. Do I still hold on to some traumas and some of the old situations? I still hold on to. But it's freed me up enough to have moments like this that I'm having with you right now. Such an amazing teaching moment where I can actually get outside of myself, my insecurities, my oppression, all the things that I oppress myself with. And I create this channel. I create a relationship with my viewers. I recreate old relationships that had died. These people have come back because they see someone different in me, right? How is that possible? Because it's an unseen thing. You have to do it on the inside. And most of this work is done on a platform that you and I can't see. It's on the inside. It's in your heart, in the conscience, because it's all in here. It's the one thing that the two things, the subconscious and the conscious, are literally, it can block you from seeing this, the subconscious, right? When you marry the both together and you start working cohesively with it, that's why they say, when you look at the way that the planets work, right? Or even the way the moon and the sun works. They take their turn to go, right? And then sometimes when they're in the sky together, you're like, whoa, it's crazy, right? It's just a good way of saying us. Our goal, actually a better way to explain this is a relationship. When does a relationship not work? When they're not working cohesively, when they're not communicating, especially when they start using low vibrational shit like lying, cheating, stealing, power hungry, envy, and all those characteristics come from the internal, not the external. We always want to blame the other person when the only one to blame is you, or essentially in this case, me. That's the whole thing, you guys. When you figure that out and you look at yourself, your life will change for the better. I promise you. You will be able to get whatever you want. Because if you can use that idea with your manifestations, use it with your relationships, the world is infinite, limitless. That's all I got, you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Make sure to subscribe. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Make sure at the end of the day, you guys just spread love. Teach the next person instead of trying to hold this information like it is gold, right? I just gave you guys solid gold right now. That could change your life if you implement the exact details that I just told you. You guys would change your lives. Spread it to someone else. There's principles in this universe that will literally change your life. Give to another person and you'll receive it. That's all I got, you guys. Enough today. I love you guys. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys. Bye.